Hi everyone, welcome to Cookin with Angel. I'm Angel and I'm so excited to share my love of cooking with you. My therapist suggested I get a hobby, and after trying many different things, I discovered my passion for cooking. Here we'll explore delicious recipes from Home Chef and other meal kits, share family secret recipes handed down from my great-grandmother, offer helpful tips, enjoy a glass of wine, and have a lot of fun in the kitchen. So whether you're a seasoned cook or just starting out, there's something here for everyone. Let's dive right in and get cooking. Hey there everyone, welcome to Cookin with Angel. Today we have a really good meal that I'm pretty excited for that came in a box meal set from Home Chef. It is a sheet pan meal, which I really like because it's a very easy cleanup and you don't really have to make a big mess all over your kitchen. And it is called a Windy City beef meatball sub with crispy Parmesan home fries. Now that sounds really good. Let's go through the ingredients. Let's see here. We have some potato spice seasoning. When it comes to these spice seasonings, they have names for them, but you have to actually look up, if you're gonna remake it, you have to actually look up what the spice blend actually is in order to make the actual potato spice blend. And then we have Italian seasoning, which we're gonna use more than once, so just make sure you measure it out because you're gonna use it more than once. And we have some marinara sauce. Now when I make this again, I will make my own marinara sauce. I don't like to buy marinara sauce in the jar. I like to actually make it myself. I know what's in it. I like the spice that I put in, and it just tastes better, I think. Then we also have some panko breadcrumbs, and we have a couple of some russet potatoes. We have some Parmesan. We have some mozzarella. They gave us 2 French rolls. And I believe they're already sliced. Then we have a poblano, which I actually added myself because the green bell pepper that they gave me kind of, I don't know, it's broken, so I'm a little iffy on what the inside's gonna look like. So I got myself a poblano to kind of help with the flavoring if it actually does work out. It's a good combination. All right, and then we have the ground beef. We're gonna need 2 tablespoons of water, and of course some salt and pepper, and olive oil. They really do use mostly olive oil for everything, which I really I like because it's healthier for you. So that's what's gonna happen today. We're gonna need to have a sheet pan. I'm gonna actually use 2 because one of mine has a rack, and I'm gonna use that for the fries while done. All right, let's get cooking. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make the meatballs. We're going to put in a bowl the breadcrumbs. And these are all measured out. This one is a 1/4 cup. So this will be a 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. And we're gonna have some water here. These are just 2 tablespoons. You want to kind of mix it in with the breadcrumbs first so it can kind of soak a little bit. And then we want to use a 1/2 teaspoon of this Italian seasoning. Remember, you only want to use a 1/2, and this little container packet here is 1 teaspoon. So just want to use 1/2 teaspoon to go into the meatballs. Try and make sure I even it out. There we go. And then we are going to need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Make sure you measure this out. You really do not want to over salt. It can really ruin a meal for sure. And then we're going to add a little bit of pepper, not a whole bunch, just a little. And we're going to go ahead and break up this beef. Believe that these are 10 ounces of beef is what they give you for the meal, which is 2 servings. This way it'll be easier to really combine all of the seasonings and the breadcrumbs and all of that. A little bit of it is still kind of frozen because So I just got this box today, and they do package it really well when it comes to the temperature. It can last, I believe, overnight on your porch is what they say, because it has the packaging that it has, and the packages of what is that? Not dry ice, whatever those ice pack things are. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and mix this all up now. Okay. Next, we make the meatballs. Now, when it comes to the meatballs, you're going to need to make 6 meatballs equally sized. When you're making the meatballs into the ball form, you want to go ahead and dip your hands in some water. This will actually make it so the meat does not stick to your hands, or in this case, the gloves, as I like to use gloves when handling meat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make this into one big ball, pull that in half. So we've got 2 equally sized, or mostly equally sized balls. And then we're going to make this one into a ball, and we're going to divide that into thirds. So we want to make sure they're pretty equal, or as equal as possible, because of putting it on the bread itself. Some of them would fall out if they were too small and others were too big. So you just want to make sure you don't have anything rolling off of your bread roll. So there's one meatball, and if it starts to get sticky again, just dip in that water, and then we're going to roll that second one, and we're going to roll that third one, and voila, there you have 6 equally sized meatballs ready for cooking. As you can see here, I have 2 pans ready for the oven. The first one is a pan with a rack on it. This is going to be for the potatoes, so they crisp on both sides evenly. And then we're going to put the meatballs on 1/2 area of this second sheet pan, because on the other side is where we're going to put the peppers when it's time for them to cook. You just put that on there in that part of the pan, and then the other half just leave empty for when we have the next step with the peppers. The next step is to cut the potatoes into rounds. So we're going to go ahead and start with this one here, and it says, I believe, let's see, 1/4 inch rounds is what we need. And I believe that's because they want them to be somewhat crispy, and the thicker they are, the less likely that they will cook all the way through to a crisp, nice and wonderful crisp texture. So we're just going to go ahead and cut these into 1/4 inch, or as much as 1/4 inch as I can get. Make sure you're careful. These knives can be quite sharp, and I would hate for somebody to cut off a finger, or even just a fingernail. Next step is to add some olive oil. We're going to need 2 teaspoons of olive oil to a bowl of the potatoes. So there's 1, and there's 2. A little bit more than 2 actually. And then we want to add the potato seasoning. Let's go ahead and get it all in there. And then you're supposed to massage this all with the oil and the seasonings. I like to wear gloves because this is quite messy with the olive oil. If you're just doing it with your hands, you're gonna have to wash your hands for a good while to get all the oil off. All right, let's go ahead and add these to the rack. You're gonna wanna separate them out pretty good. If you don't, and they're too close together, they will not get crispy. They will actually get more moist because of it'll basically steam them instead of crisping them up as if you had fried them. I don't like mine to be really flimsy and kind of almost soggy in my mind. I really like crispy. That is my go-to for pretty much everything, as long as it's not burned, of course. Things like bacon, love crispy. Things like fries, crispy. You know, the normal stuff that people like to have crispy. next step is to put these in the oven. Here we have the peppers. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the poblano first. Just gonna go ahead and half it down the middle there. Pull that apart. Cut out the membrane and the seeds and the little stem part at the top. Let's pull that out. Okay. Now we're going to slice these into 1/2 inch. You know, poblanos themselves aren't usually very spicy, but they can get spicy. Whenever you're cutting with peppers, even ones that you're not sure are spicy, except for maybe bell peppers, everybody knows that bell peppers aren't really that spicy. You're gonna want to make sure you wash your cutting board and your knife really well after you're done, and your hands, because you don't want to touch your face and get the wonderful spiciness in your eyeball. Okay, so we've got the poblano, and we're gonna go ahead and do the green pepper. So here we have all the peppers. I almost forgot that we need to season these peppers. So we are going to put in the rest of that Italian seasoning. So we're gonna go and just pour that in there. And then we're going to, it says use 1 teaspoon with these. I'm gonna go and pour that over there. Okay, then we're gonna mix it up. You get that seasoning and oil all over all of the pepper strips. And there you go, ready to cook. Here we go, we're gonna start the cooking process. I have the 2 ovens, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my potatoes on the lower oven. And then I'm gonna put my meatballs and my peppers on my top oven. Again, they are all cooking at the same temperature, 425 degrees. And we're gonna go ahead and set the timer for both of them for 25 minutes. And we will check on them then. Now, would you look at that? I believe they are done. Let's check the potatoes. Well, it looks like some of them are crispy. Some others are not quite as crispy as I'd like, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this pan around. I have to say, one of the benefits of having a double oven is that now that the meatballs and peppers are done, but the potatoes are not, I can turn off the oven for the meatballs and peppers while continuing to cook for the potatoes, and it will keep them warm because of the heat that is going towards the potatoes. So that means that everything will stay warm and be delicious. Okay, here we have the last part of the sandwich itself. We are going to go ahead and add in the meatballs. Go and spread them out some, and oh, they smell so good. Oh my goodness. Okay, then we're gonna go ahead and grab some peppers. We're gonna add the peppers to it. These smell good also. I do think the poblanos, also known as pasilla peppers, are going to be a little spicy because I can actually smell the spice in the air. I'm going to pour this all over. Oh, this is going to be so delicious. Look at how good this looks already. And then we're going to go ahead and add that cheese on now. Now, I don't care as much for cheese on these, like when it comes to the topping of it. So I gave one of them the majority of the cheese, and the other one is for mine. See, this one has way more cheese. That's for my husband, Dan. He loves cheese more than I do, or ever will. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and add this back to the sheet pan here. So we just kind of got them there, right there. And then what we're also gonna do is we're gonna add some, some Parmesan to the potatoes as soon as they are finished. And then we're gonna put them all back into the ovens together to have all the cheese melt up and have the sauce kind of get hot. Okay, so we have the subs ready to go in to heat themselves up. And we have this Parmesan cheese, which is going to go over the potatoes. Now that they're done, I'm just going to go ahead and... Some of it's going to go through, some of it's going to stick. It doesn't really matter. It's going to taste delicious. All right, guys, last step. We've got all the cheese on top. And we're going to go ahead and put these back in the oven for 4 minutes. Just to melt the cheese and to heat up the marinara sauce. And then we have the potatoes. They look very crisp. Nice cheesy. All right, guys, it's time to plate the potatoes. We'll just take a spatula here, and they're crisp, so you don't really need to do much more than moving around. All right, these look amazing. I'm very excited to try them. Look at that. All that marinara sauce and that cheese. Those peppers. Plate that. Here we have the final results. Doesn't this look delicious? This is the Windy City beef meatball sub with crispy Parmesan chips. All right, guys, thank you for joining us today. Please like, subscribe, comment. If there's anything that you would like me to make, please just let me know. I am open for suggestions, and I hope you have a great evening.